What if I told you that the future of basketball isn't just on the horizon? It's already here. And her name, Caitlin Clark. The world has been buzzing about this phenom, but behind her meteoric rise to basketball stardom lies a story filled with challenges, determination, and an unstoppable will to succeed. Caitlin didn't just break into the sport, she's redefining it. But how did she go from being just another talented player to one of the most dominant forces in women's basketball? What are the struggles she faced, the moments that nearly broke her, and the secrets behind her success? Stay with us, because Caitlin Clark's story is about to get a lot more interesting, and it's one you don't want to miss. Caitlin Clark wasn't always the basketball sensation we know today. Born and raised in West Des Moines, Iowa, Caitlin's journey to the top was anything but easy. Like many basketball prodigies, Caitlin started young, showing flashes of brilliance on the court. But there was something different about her, an intensity, a fire that set her apart. From her early days dominating high school basketball, Clark made waves, quickly catching the attention of scouts. By the time she reached her senior year, she was widely regarded as one of the top prospects in the nation. But even then, no one could have predicted just how big her impact would be. It wasn't just her stats, it was her fearlessness, her ability to take over games with sheer willpower. She wasn't just a scorer, she was a playmaker, a leader, and the kind of player who elevates everyone around her. But this was only the beginning of Caitlin's journey. There were bigger challenges ahead, and not everyone believed she had what it took to handle the pressure of collegiate basketball. When Caitlin Clark made the decision to commit to the University of Iowa, some people questioned her choice. With offers from powerhouse schools like UConn and Notre Dame, why would a player of her caliber choose Iowa? For Caitlin, the answer was simple. She wanted to build something special in her home state, to put Iowa women's basketball on the map in a way that hadn't been done before. But it was more than just a sentimental choice. It was a bold statement. Caitlin wasn't just looking to fit into a system, she wanted to create her own legacy, and she believed Iowa was the place where she could do that. But this wasn't just about loyalty, it was about confidence. Caitlin believed she could lead Iowa to greatness. And she was right. From the moment she stepped on the court as a Hawkeye, it was clear that something special was happening. Her freshman season was nothing short of extraordinary, as Caitlin averaged nearly 27 points per game, breaking records left and right. But as her star began to rise, so did the expectations and the pressure. Would Caitlin be able to handle the weight of carrying an entire program on her shoulders? Or would the pressure prove to be too much? The spotlight can be a blessing and a curse. As Caitlin's dominance grew, so did the scrutiny. How does she handle the constant comparisons to legends like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird? And what about the doubters? Those who say she's overrated or can't perform on the biggest stages? Stay with us, because Caitlin's journey through the pressure cooker of college basketball is about to take an unexpected turn. Caitlin Clark's rise isn't just about her skill. It's about breaking barriers, setting new standards, and redefining what's possible in women's basketball. During her sophomore season, Caitlin did the unthinkable. Game after game, she shattered records, becoming the first player in NCAA history, men's or women's, to lead the nation in both points and assists per game. Let that sink in for a second. No one had ever done what Caitlin Clark was doing, but her rise wasn't just about stats. Caitlin brought a swagger and confidence to the court that hadn't been seen in women's basketball for years. She played with a chip on her shoulder, as if she had something to prove every time she stepped on the hardwood. Her deep three-pointers, her no-look passes, her fierce competitiveness, they became must-watch moments. But behind every moment of brilliance, there were countless hours of work, sacrifice, and moments of doubt. So, How did Caitlin push through the doubts? How did she silence the critics and keep raising the bar? But Caitlin's approach wasn't just about outscoring her opponents. She was a floor general. She made her teammates better, and that's where her true greatness shines. Every assist, every rebound, and every hustle play showed her commitment to winning, not just for herself, but for her team. As a leader, Caitlin understood that her role extended beyond stats. It was about setting the tone, inspiring her teammates, and creating a winning culture at Iowa. But here's the thing. Despite her success, Caitlin wasn't immune to doubts. Even the greatest players have moments when the pressure becomes overwhelming. Caitlin had to learn how to navigate the high expectations and the endless comparisons. What did she do when it felt like the world was watching her every move? And what were the sacrifices she made to reach the top? The answers might surprise you. For every highlight reel moment Caitlin Clark gave us, there were behind-the-scenes struggles that few people saw. From balancing academics with the demands of being the face of a program, to dealing with injuries that could have derailed her career, Caitlin had to fight battles off the court just as much as on it. And let's not forget the criticism. Being in the spotlight means that every missed shot, every mistake is magnified. There were times when social media critics questioned her abilities, labeling her as overrated or saying she wasn't built for the big moments. For many athletes, that kind of criticism can be devastating. But Caitlin had a different approach. She didn't just silence the critics, she thrived on proving them wrong. Every time someone doubted her, it only fueled her fire. Caitlin's mental toughness is one of her most underrated qualities. It wasn't just about showing up in the big moments, it was about handling the pressure day in and day out. The hours of practice, the late-night study sessions, the grind of being a student athlete at the highest level, it all took a toll. But Caitlin never backed down. She embraced the challenges, knowing that every setback was an opportunity to grow stronger. Caitlin's dominance isn't just about winning games or setting records. It's about something much bigger. She's on a mission to change the perception of women's basketball and to inspire the next generation. But what does Caitlin really think about the legacy she's building? What's her ultimate goal? And how does she plan to leave her mark, not just on the court, but on the sport as a whole? Stay with us, because Caitlin's story is far from over. Today, Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a brand, a role model, and a trailblazer. But her story isn't finished. Far from it. As she continues to dominate on the court, Caitlin is also thinking about the future, her impact on women's sports, the young players she's inspiring, and the lasting legacy she'll leave behind. She's already achieved more than most players ever dream of, but for Caitlin, it's never been about just personal accolades. She wants to elevate the game of basketball, to bring more attention, respect, and opportunities to women's sports. And she's already making moves off the court to ensure that her influence lasts long after her playing days are over. Whether it's through future business ventures, mentorship programs, or inspiring the next wave of athletes, Caitlin is determined to make sure her impact is felt for generations to come. But what's truly remarkable about Caitlin is her vision for the future. She's not content with just being a great player. She wants to use her platform to uplift the sport itself. From advocating for better visibility of women's sports to being involved in community outreach, Caitlin is setting the stage for future generations of athletes, both on and off the court. So, what makes Caitlin Clark different? What is it about her that sets her apart from every other player in the game? It's not just the stats or the records. It's her mindset, her resilience, and her determination to be more than just a basketball player. Caitlin is building a legacy that goes beyond the court, and the story of her rise is far from over. If you've been as inspired by Caitlin's journey as we have, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Revenue Racers for more in-depth looks at the biggest names in sports. And let us know in the comments, what do you think is Caitlin Clark's greatest achievement so far? And what's next for this rising star? We'd love to hear your thoughts below.